What's up, YouTube? Welcome to a new video. My name is Prince Meyson. I keep saying that all the time. I need to find like the new intro. So if you guys can help me out, put that in the description below. Let me know what the new intro is going to be like. But yeah, welcome to a new video. My name is Prince Meyson, and I am going to talk to you guys about my new camera right now, which is not really my new camera, but my new camera for now because it's borrowed. But before we do that, let's talk about the cameras I use right now. So this is the Sony A7 III. This isn't mine. It's for a friend. We kind of like share the same studio, and we primarily use Sony cameras right now. So I use the Sony A7R III. He uses the Sony A7 III, and those are the cameras that we use right now. Now, the camera that I'm going to be talking about today is this camera right here, which is the Canon EOS R. I don't know if this is going to be in focus, but this is it. The EOS R is the camera that I am using. Probably going to block my face so you guys can see that. I don't know if it's in focus, but yeah. So that is the camera that we're going to be talking about today. But I'm just going to give you guys a brief history of my whole camera thing and tell you guys why I'm such a huge fanboy of Canon cameras. Now, I started shooting with the Canon 60D. That was the first camera I ever got. And from there, I moved to 6D, then 5D Mark III, or I owned the 6D and 5D Mark III together. And I wanted to get a new camera that could do amazing videos. Now, if you know the 5D Mark III is at the point where it was available, the video sucked compared to like other cameras that were, coming out. Sony was coming out with 4K cameras, and Canon did not want to just do anything with their the video aspect of their cameras. They just left it for like their cinema cameras, right? So, and I wanted a camera that could shoot both amazing videos and amazing stills. So I had to switch to Sony camera. That was the major reason why I switched to Sony. Now, I'm a huge Canon fanboy. Trust me, I'm one of the biggest Canon fanboys you find out there. But I left Canon and I moved to Sony, and I actually have never regretted my decision. But now I have this camera with me, which is the EOS R, and I absolutely love it. You know when you hold a Canon camera and it takes you back to the first time you got your first Canon, or when you got your Canon like 6D or 5D Mark III, it just... Sorry, I just hit the mic. Look, bottom line is Canon knows how to make cameras, from how it looks to how it feels to the handling to all those things. It's like they never go wrong with their cameras. They put it out and it just works perfectly from the start. Unlike other cameras that, like they have to bring out a ton of updates to make sure the cameras, are working perfectly. So let's talk about a few things that I absolutely love about this camera. The first thing is ergonomics, how the camera feels in the hands. It just feels amazing compared to like the Sonys. I don't know if you guys can see this right here. The grip is really, really deep. And if I was to compare that with the Sony cameras, this thing is shallow. The grip is shallow. So look at the Sony, it's shallow, but let's go back to the Canon. I hope this is in focus. It is really, really deep. So that's the first thing. Like when you hold the camera, it just feels amazing in your hands, unlike my Sony cameras, right? The second thing I love about it is the feel. It actually feels really professional. I'm not saying my Sony cameras don't feel professional, but I just think there's a way Canon make their cameras. It just feels really good to work with, and it feels really, really solid. I feel like it feels more solid than my Sony camera. That's the A7R III, but yeah. Another thing I love about the whole new mirrorless system that Canon is doing are the adapters. Now, I don't know if Sony makes any adapters themselves, but I doubt that. I use a Sigma MC11 adapter majorly with my camera, but Canon came out with an adapter that you can adapt older Canon lenses to like, their cameras, and they also have one that you can put in an ND filter. That's just genius. I don't know why Sony never did that, but it just makes the whole camera system even more usable. So basically you can get like, you can use the old Canon lenses and you can use like an ND filter with it. You can use their cinema lenses and put an ND filter between your camera and your lens, which is the best place to put an ND filter, right? So yeah, so those are like a few things I love about it. Let's talk about the screen. I feel like the screen on the Canon camera is way better than the one on my Sony. That's what I think. Just looking at both of them, and also the fact that it is flip, right? The owner of this camera is going to lose his mind if he sees me turning this thing like this, but it's flip. And the thing about that I love is at the back of the camera, it's covered, so you can cover your screen. Unlike my camera, I threw it in my bag one time and my screen cracked. Serious, my A7R3, the screen cracked. So that's one thing that's another thing I love about this. Then, you know, if you have ever been online, then you hear about the menu systems of the Sonys. They just suck, and the Canons are like way better. So let's not even go there. Now, the most important thing about this camera that I love, by the way, the autofocus is good. The Sony autofocus is great, is the color science. The color science of this camera is amazing. Now, I've been shooting with my Sony, I'm used to it, but just shooting with the Canon again, like, just drove me nuts. I absolutely love the colors that come out of this camera. It's way better than my Sony's. I'm not saying I'll switch to Canon right away. Like, this does not have full frame 4K. It does have 4K, but it's cropped. It also has 720, 120 frames per second, and I use 120 frames per second a lot. My videos, even the intro of this video was done like that. But yeah, so I would love to have this as a second camera. I would love to have it as a camera that I probably would use just because I absolutely love shooting with this. Now, let's go to the lenses that come with the EOS R, right? The RF lenses just look amazing. Like, they look really, really sexy compared to other lenses I have. Now, I do not have the premium Sony lenses, but I've used them and I've held them, and they don't feel this premium. This just feels really sexy. And yeah, I just wish I could own every single camera and so every single lens that Canon makes. But yeah, and also if you're buying into this, you can use old Canon lenses, and they're cheap, and they just work perfectly on this system. And yeah, so I feel like it's an amazing camera. I'm also going to shoot again with it. I shot a pre-wedding with it recently, but I haven't tested it enough. But I'm going to shoot with it again. If I was to recommend, I think I'll just have to shoot with it again. Then I'll decide if I'm going to recommend either the EOS R or the A7R3. But if you're just going to do videos basically, and you really need 4K full frame, then I think it's a no-brainer. You have to go with the A7 III. But this just feels, I don't know, this just feels really good. Like, I feel like I might, if I was to choose, I personally feel like I'll probably take the compromise and go with this guy, just because I feel like it's because I'm such a huge Canon fanboy. You get, so I'm just going to go with this guy. It's just like people that buy Fujis and they buy the other cameras. Like, it's not because they're way better than every other camera that's out there. Like, for some reason, you probably just like one particular thing about it, either the handling, the ergonomics, the colors that come out of it, the lenses, or how small it is, and you just buy into that system and you stay there. But I personally feel like I'm just such a Canon fanboy that eventually I'm going to switch to Canon. Now, one thing I don't like about this is probably at the back here. I don't know if this is in focus. At the back here, there is no, what do you call it? There's this control knob that comes in my A7R3. And on the A7 III, it is just this right here. You can use it to, move your focus points and do all those things there. It's not on the, it's not here. It's not on the EOS R, and it just feels like 6D to me. And that was one thing I didn't really like about my 6D. So that's one thing I don't like about this. But I think the amazing thing about it is that it's touchscreen. Yes, it is touchscreen, and you can use the whole touchscreen throughout. Unlike my freaking Sony A7R III that you can't actually use the touchscreen except. I never even use the touchscreen. So yeah, so the good thing about this is you can just place your hand and drag your hand and tell your camera where to focus, and it just follows you. So it's an amazing camera. If you are actually looking at buying this camera, then I think you should go ahead and buy it, because you're not going to regret your purchase decision. But I think I have a shoot tomorrow, and I'm going to use this camera, and after using it, I'll tell you guys how I felt using it. But with the first shoot that I've done, it's actually like an amazing camera. Right now, I'm not going to switch my A7R III for this. Also, I think I'm spoiled by the 42 megapixels on my A7R III. And how many is this? I really don't know how many this is, but it's definitely not up to that. I think this is 30. Is it up to? I don't know. I'm probably, hold on, let me check. Yeah, I got it. It's 30 megapixels compared to the 42. I think I'm just going to stick with that because I'm spoiled by that. Also, the 4K videos, I can put out 4K content. And yeah, I eventually, I feel like Canon will release another mirrorless system that is going to be a bit higher than this, and I would eventually have to buy into that. But for now, I'm just going to borrow this camera whenever I can, shoot with it as much as I can, and just enjoy the whole Canon experience again. Now, yeah, that's about it. If you're interested in this, then I think you should go ahead and buy it. I absolutely love it. That's my recommendation. Go ahead and buy it. That's it. Anyways, before we end today's video, if you haven't checked out my skin tone lots, Shameless blog, definitely go check it out. I also have what do you call it? Teeth whitening action for free, frequency separation action for free. You guys should definitely check that out and go download it. I'll put a link in the description below. I'll also put a link up here. Yeah, that's it. Anyways, thank you for watching today's video. That's my initial thoughts on the EOS R. I know it's been out for a long time and a lot of people have done videos on it, but this is just the first time I've had to use it, or I've had it to use it. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have an oh wait, did I just we're going to beep that out. But yeah, you guys should subscribe, like the video. Yeah, that's it. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.